Hello, hello, hello. I pray you're doing wonderful this morning, this evening, whatever time you are watching this. I'm going to jump straight into this video. Some of you are looking like, what happened? This was over 11 years ago, and I'm just getting around to making the video. I saved the pictures because I wanted to help someone else. I've seen people dealing with this for many years. It's not psoriasis. It is called seborrheic or seborrheic, one of the two, dermatitis. And it looks like it's a bunch of dandruff, but it's a little different than dandruff. It is like an overgrowth. It's not from being unclean. There are many different reasons why it develops. And I was not given a specific reason how this happened to me, but I dealt with this for years out of the blue. And what you were seeing to the left of you is the correct oil. And that where you see the little emoji saying, nah, okay, that is not the correct shampoo. And this is what you're often given a lot of times at dermatology offices, or if your primary care physician is often aware of this particular condition, right? And so that is that one that I just showed you with the emoji that's like the red shampoo. That is what I was offered when I went to my primary care physician. I showed her my scalp and she said, I know what it is. This is what you need. And I continue to suffer. Okay. And what I mean by that is it dried out my scalp. It dried out my hair. It broke my hair off. It dried out my skin really bad. It did not work at all. It seemed to have made, my skin feel worse. And not only that, it affected, other things like my hair. It broke off and now my hair is extremely dry and brittle. And the issue was I had to wash my hair daily. So this was not going to work. I went into serious prayer. I said, Lord, I cannot continue like this. As you can see, the back of my ears are splitting. It was traveling down the back of my neck. As I said, I had to wash my hair every single day. I couldn't wear certain styles because you would literally see it building up through the braids or whatever. I had to limit certain hairstyles that would tuck my hair away for a long period of time. And even when I would cleanly wash my hair, you would still see those flakes as if I never washed it. So it was a horrible season of going through this. And I said, no, Lord, either you're going to give me the remedy or lead me to where I should go. And I looked on Google. I tried sulfur 8. I tried so many different things that people who were dealing with this condition said, and they often said the red shampoo. And I said, no, that's not working. So while I was in prayer, the Holy Spirit said, tell your doctor that you want to see a dermatologist. Now, I'm going to tell you the significance of this because some of you might be saying, well, that's just common sense. That's something you should have done in the beginning. But when your primary care physician says they know what this is, you Google it and you see that that's the recommended shampoo, nowhere online or anywhere was this oil that I'm holding in my hand to the left suggested. And not every dermatologist knows about this. So because of my insurance, I had to call a particular number. And of course, I said, God, let the person on the end, be in tune with you. I have to choose the right place to go. So when they gave me the number to call, this particular line where the person would then just give me a list of my options on where I could go for my insurance, I felt led to tell this young man who answered everything that was happening. And he said, thank you for sharing that. I know the right office that you need to go to, and they take your insurance. It's an African-American doctor. You won't see her. She's not available, but she has taught every last one of her doctors here on this condition, and she has a special treatment. Your hair is different. That particular shampoo is not going to work for your texture hair. So I'm super happy, and I'm like, God, I already believe that you've answered my prayer. So of course he scheduled the appointment. I went. I did not see that doctor, but as he said, this particular doctor was trained on African American hair. She let me talk. She didn't go right in and say, I know exactly what this is. She let me share my experience, what I had been going through. And of course, she prescribed me this oil that you are looking at. She told me she could not promise me that it was going to completely heal my scalp, but it would definitely clear it up. And she gave me the recommended dose to use, how often to apply it. I could apply it in my scalp, on my skin. And let me tell you, I also prayed over that oil, right? But yeah, this oil is let me tell you, it is the truth. It worked, and it actually healed me of this condition. I used it for a few months, and I always kept this bottle. This bottle is so old. It's from 2020. That was the last bottle that I ordered, because I always kept some on hand just in case I saw anything, which he said, if you see any little flake or anything like that, put a little dab of it in your scalp. And so I've just always kept it so I could always know the name as well. And let me tell you, like I said today, my scalp is completely healed. I do not have those issues anymore. It completely cleared up. As I said, over a couple months, I used the amount of dosage. You know, as you go along, you can use less and less. And of course, I used it for like a whole year, because this was traumatic. You hear me? And I was like, I don't want to go through this anymore. But this is my scalp today, and it's completely healed. So I pray that this is helpful to you, that you go back and you tell your doctors, if you are dealing with this, your dermatologist, you have to go to a dermatologist. Let them know, I want this oil, and I pray that you receive the same results. Be blessed.